Hello everybody, we're here at Ellen Road. I've always got to come by, make a visit, head into that place, spend an absolute shed tons of money. It's what I do when I'm at Ellen Road. But I hope you're all doing fantastically well on this dreary Monday morning. Leeds United with a 4-1 win at the weekend, and I remember sort of like 5-6 months ago I'd come down here regularly doing sort of like match content and walking around the stadium that unfortunately because of my work I can't get to enough as I would like. Billy in the background there, and just a bit of a reflection really, guys, on what we're seeing at the minute with this side. Mixed bag, obviously this week. Leeds losing to Stoke City in a game which was probably one of the poorest of the season, if I'm being honest with you. One of the ones where you're thinking to yourself, this really isn't the Leeds that we've seen this season. A lack of sort of verve, vigour, and it was a deserved win for Stoke City, in my opinion. The week that's been, but Patrick Bamford had the opportunity to grab Leeds all 3 points, and unfortunately he didn't do that. But we move on. We got to Huddersfield Town. You're thinking to yourself, can Leeds pull this out of the bag? I was very, very confident. Huddersfield are a dreadful team. They just lost to Cardiff City. And Leeds managed to get the win, 4-1. Elan Melier, unfortunately, doing what Elan Melier does. I think he's in the bracket at this moment in time of a Luke Ayling, a Liam Cooper, and a lot of you guys were saying that in the comment section below yesterday, a Patrick Bamford of just not being at the considered level for me. I think a lot of those clean sheets have come because of an impregnable defence, a very, very good defence at points, and Leeds dominating the ball in the offensive third, which means that obviously if you keep hold of the ball and you're dominant in their half, they're not going to get many opportunities to be dominant and decent in your half. But overall, I was really impressed at the weekend. The first half was the best half we've seen this season. Crysencio Somerville involved in 4 goals, 2 assists and 2 goals. Dan James and him linking up perfectly well, exceptionally well. And you do look at it at this moment in time, and I was mentioning it yesterday, but from a point of Nonto and Jaden Anthony and Somerville obviously being part of this front line, it's got to a point now where you're looking at it and saying it's the starters have got to be Somerville and Dan James. Dan James with an exceptional finish, a really good finish. Not exceptional, maybe a bit far, but a lovely driven strike for the first one. And he's showing composure where he's not shown composure before, and he's proven me wrong. I've always said with Dan James, he's got ability. We know he's got ability, but can he do it consistently? Can he make those proper decisions? I thought in the game he wasn't making the correct decisions at stages. However, he was excellent with those finishes, and you can't deny how his scoring record at the minute. I think it's like 11 goal involvements in 12 or something for club and country. He's been exceptional here as well. He's been very good. So yeah, Leeds are really profiting from Dan James at the minute, and you do look at it, and if God forbid Leeds were to be in Division 2, then the Championship next season, you'd expect Perot to stick around, Dan James to stick around, where the others may go. And I think that's where the conversation's going right now with Leeds United, and how important it is that this club is back in the Premier League next season. And you realise the importance, because clubs are going to be sniffing around some of our top talent. Somerville is going to be impressive, and Leeds are going to do well to stave off interest in January. Nonto, in my opinion, will probably go at the end of the season. And, at this moment in time, Leeds have proven that they can cope without Willie Nonto, even though he is an exceptional talent and is exceptional for Leeds United in terms of what he offers and the players that he occupies and the talent that he has. But you're looking at Rutter. He's gonna definitely galvanise interest. We saw interest for Rutter, even when he was at his poorest ebb from Dortmund, 29 million offered in the summer. So we're expecting January interest from many clubs around Europe for Rutter. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting, not only summer campaign for Leeds United, but obviously it's going to be an interesting January as well, in terms of can Leeds keep hold of their prized possessions. And I think Leeds have got to go again. I think that's another thing which I'm realising when I'm watching Leeds. I think we've got to go again in terms of January signings. I think that's got to happen. I think Leeds have got to revitalise. We've got to boost. We've got to regenerate that side, because it's going to be tired. It is going to be weathered a little bit by January and the post-Christmas lull that lots of teams face and suffer from. And you're going to get our rivals, Leicester City, Southampton, probably even Ipswich, going again. So Leeds need to match that, and Leeds need to go out there and in my opinion, pick up a left back, maybe look at picking up another centre back. We're seeing the importance of Joe Rodon. I mean, I thought he was exceptional at the weekend again, and when you see Liam Cooper right next to Pascal Struijk, you see a massive drop-off in Pascal Struijk's game. And is that a problem that Pascal Struijk's facing? You know, does he need a Ben White? Does he need a Joe Rodon, a player of the next level to elevate his game? I mean, logic would say yes, but some of the best players in world football, and I'm not saying Pascal is, but they have to play with players who are worse than them. And I think Pascal really struggles to play with players who are worse than them. Instead of him elevating his game, he sort of delves down to their level. And I think you saw that when, you know, Cooper came on and Ayling came on. It looked flat, it looked a little bit disjointed. And I think the importance here is just the importance of Joe Rodon and how good he actually is for this Leeds United side. Unbelievable tackles at the weekend, a real good footballing brain. And this Leeds United side, if we are to go to Leicester without him, in my opinion, are in big trouble. But we go to Leicester with a Joe Rodon, and we're in the game. And listen, they've not played, in my opinion, a team as good as us. They haven't played a team as good as Leeds United, and that's a massive bonus for me. And looking ahead to that game and looking ahead to what Leeds United can do, we can cause them problems. Now, the difficulty for Leeds is going to be the transition. Mavididi, who's been unbelievable for them. Vardy, obviously. Is it Fawasu, I believe, they've got on the other side. They've got Iheanacho, they've got Daka, Dewsbury Hall. They have an absolute array of talent like we have up top. But I think the difference with Leicester is it's the back line. You know, it's quality across the back line. It's Faze, it's Vestergaard, it's Pereira. Whereas in my opinion, Leeds United really do rely on the likes of Joe Rodon to bolster that back line. So hopefully we're going to see Joe in and around. But if Leeds can keep the mistakes to a minimum, we can go to Leicester, which has been I mean, they've lost their only game there this season in Hull City. But if Hull City can go there and do something, can we go there and do something? I think we're going to score goals. I really do. The difference with Leeds United is, can we keep the goals out? You know, another soft one conceded at the weekend. Ilan Meslier with a really poor mistake again. Man, this is the problem with, you know, him having this in his locker and his opposition man in Hermansen at Leicester has been doing really, really well in terms of consistency, and that is something that I would definitely look at to improve on. In terms of the goalkeeper, I wanted Leeds to go for a goalkeeper, but it is what it is. We are where we are. There's no point in discussing all that sort of stuff right now. Leeds are where they are, and we need a big performance from Ilan Meslier because he's going to be busy. The back line needs to be switched on, really, really switched on. As I pass the boys here, bloody hell, does that seem a long time ago? This man, what a player he was for Leeds United. A few others there as well. But yeah, I think Leeds United can hurt them. I really do. I fully believe that, and I'm not just saying that for the channel. I think Leicester City coming up is a game where, you know, they're a bit cocky at the minute, and they've got the right to be cocky. They're unbelievable. They're flying. You know, I was looking at the table yesterday, and at this point last season, we saw how good Burnley were. 25 points they were on at this point, which is the exact same points Leeds were on. You're looking at Leicester now, they're on what 38, 39? Ipswich are on 34 with a game in hand. We are so unlucky to have teams like this in and around us in this season. You're two fastest starts ever in Championship history. So will they fall off? That's what Leeds are hoping for. The bit that Leeds can cling on to is the fact that Ipswich are conceding a lot of goals, and they were very lucky against Bristol City, in my opinion, and they were very lucky at the weekend. So is that luck going to bite them on the arse? But the problem with Leeds, for Leeds, is we can't be making any more mistakes, and that really it follows Leeds to Leicester. You know, can we have any more mistakes which are going to put us even further behind in Ipswich, and it turns to 12 points or 15 points, bearing in mind they've got a game in hand. So the consensus for me here is, everybody, Leeds United are right in. We've had a really good start to the season, As I say, you compare Burnley to Leeds United, and the problem with us is we just had a really slow start because of complications. You know, at the start of the season we were starting Shackleton right wing, Gelhardt up top. It was so disjointed and lacked quality, and that's where we suffered. You know, Sheffield Wednesday post-Sinistera drama. Obviously West Brom, Cardiff, Birmingham, but unfortunately we slipped into that mistake mode the other day, didn't we, against Stoke City. But Leeds have got to revitalise, we've got to galvanise, we've got to get back to what we know, which is, you know, from Championship level under Marcelo Bielsa, it's winning most of your games, and so far it has been that as well for Leeds, but the consistency needs to stay. I'm happy with what I've seen so far. I'm happy with the offensive outlet. I'm really happy with Joe Rodon and how he's elevating that backlines game. Guys, we're going to be back, hopefully, with the debrief tonight. It'll either be tonight or tomorrow, but likely tonight. Stick around. It's a big week for Leeds United. Let me know what you think.